Y'all, I am divorced. I am motherfucking divorced. Y'all don't even know how good this shit feel. Like, I feel free. I'm divorced, bitch. I told y'all, yeah. Big divorce on paper. And I'm happy about it.
Damn. Say, man. Look, bro. Damn, say. That's about 20 people. They can't do nothing about the. They can't do nothing,
What is
bro.
left of 24 hours ago
Everybody was coming out, cooking out in their front yard.
is a reminder of what is lost.
Everything just went downhill from there.
In the Eastland neighborhood of Fort Worth at Castleman and Comanche, Lizbeth was with her family celebrating the 4th of July.
Like before everything started, they were already here.
Fort Worth police was already monitoring the area. They say 200 to 300 people took over the block.
I'm trying to show y'all all these people outside.
Just before midnight, the booming sound of fireworks was muted by gunfire.
What y'all doing, Facebook?
Half an hour before, Latasha Hyman was streaming live on Castleman Street. Family confirms the 39-year-old makeup artist and business owner was killed in the crossfire.
It was the 4th of July 2024, a night meant for celebration, fireworks, and joy. In Fort Worth, Texas, hundreds gathered on Castleman Street for a block party, including 39-year-old Tasha Hyman, a vibrant makeup artist, devoted mother, and the beloved owner of Slay by Shay. Tasha was live-streaming the festivities on Facebook, capturing the laughter, music, and dazzling fireworks lighting up the night. But in a horrifying twist, the celebration turned deadly. Gunfire erupted, shattering the night. Tasha, caught in the crossfire, was struck by multiple bullets while trying to protect others. Her live stream ended abruptly, the screen going dark as screams and chaos took over. By the end of the night, 2 people were dead, including Tasha, and several others were injured. What started as a joyous gathering ended in unimaginable tragedy. Who opened fire on a crowd of innocent people? Why did a night of celebration descend into violence? And what led to the death of Tasha Hyman, a woman described by her fiancé as the sweetest person on this earth? This is the true story of a night that changed lives forever, a community left in shock, and the ongoing search for justice in the wake of a senseless act of violence. Welcome to True Crime Tales HQ. We appreciate your support and dedication to this channel as we bring you stories that matter. As we dive into this heartbreaking case, we want to hear from you. Have you or someone you know experienced something similar? Share your thoughts, stories, or insights in the comments below. Your experiences could help others learn, heal, or even prevent similar tragedies. Let's start a conversation that matters. Now, let's get into the story of Tasha Hyman. Tasha Hyman was more than just a name. She was a force of light in her community. A 39-year-old makeup artist from Fort Worth, Texas, Tasha was the proud owner of Slay by Shay, a thriving business that had earned her over 1,000 loyal clients. But Tasha wasn't just a talented artist. She was a devoted mother to her son, a loving fiancé to Tommy Howard, and a woman whose kindness and warmth touched everyone she met. Tommy often called her his savior, a testament to the profound impact she had on his life after he lost his previous fiancée to cancer 4 years earlier. Tasha's social media was a reflection of her vibrant spirit. In one post she wrote, "Compliments on your appearance are cool, but when someone compliments you as a person, your laugh, your energy, your heart, that's top tier." It was this authenticity, this ability to make people feel seen and valued, that made Tasha so beloved. But on the night of July 4th, 2024, her light was tragically extinguished. This is the story of Tasha Hyman, a woman whose life was as beautiful as the art she created, and whose death left a community in mourning. Tasha's journey to success wasn't without its challenges. Growing up in Fort Worth, she faced her share of struggles, but she never let them dim her spirit. She worked tirelessly to build her business, often staying up late to perfect her craft and ensure her clients felt their best. Her dedication paid off, and Slay by Shay became a household name in the city. But Tasha's success wasn't just about makeup, it was about the connections she made. Her clients didn't just leave her chair looking beautiful, they left feeling empowered, confident, and valued. One client recalled, "Tasha had this way of making you feel like the most important person in the room. She didn't just do your makeup, she lifted your spirit." But Tasha's life wasn't just about her career. She was a devoted mother to her son, whom she adored. Their bond was unbreakable, and Tasha often shared moments of their life together on social media.
I gotta think of a way to get this money back tomorrow. I gotta think of a way to get, I gotta think of a way to get this money back tomorrow.
You can sell your Beamer.
I can do what?
Sell your car.
Sell your mama's car.
In one heartfelt post, she wrote, "Being a mom is my greatest joy. My son is my everything." She was also deeply in love with her fiancé, Tommy Howard. The two had plans to build a future together, a future that was tragically cut short. Tommy often spoke of how Tasha had helped him heal after the loss of his previous fiancée to cancer. "She was my rock," he said. "She brought light back into my life when I thought I'd never smile again." As the 4th of July approached, Tasha was looking forward to celebrating with Tommy and his family. It was a night meant for joy, laughter, and togetherness. But as the sun set and the fireworks began to light up the sky, no one could have predicted the tragedy that was about to unfold. What started as a night of celebration would soon turn into a nightmare, leaving a community in shock and a family shattered. How did a night meant for happiness end in such heartbreak? And what led to the senseless violence that took Tasha's life? This is the story of Tasha Hyman, a woman whose light continues to shine, even in the face of darkness. The night of July 4th, 2024, was supposed to be a celebration of freedom, family, and togetherness. For Tasha Hyman and her fiancé, Tommy Howard, it was a chance to relax and enjoy the holiday with loved ones. The couple had spent the evening at Tommy's parents' home on Castleman Street in Fort Worth, Texas. It was a familiar gathering spot, a place where they often celebrated special occasions. But this night would be different. As the sun set and the sky darkened, the neighborhood came alive with the sounds of music, laughter, and the occasional pop of fireworks. Tasha, ever the social butterfly, decided to go live on Facebook, capturing the festive spirit for her friends and followers. In her video, you could see the joy on her face as she panned the camera across the crowd, showing neighbors dancing, fireworks lighting up the night, and cars revving their engines. But beneath the surface of this joyous gathering, tensions were simmering. As the night progressed, the atmosphere began to shift. What started as a family-friendly block party slowly turned chaotic. Drivers started performing dangerous donuts in the intersection of Castleman and Comanche Streets, their tires screeching as crowds cheered them on. Fireworks, illegal in Fort Worth, were being launched recklessly, some even aimed at neighboring houses and police cruisers. Tasha's live stream captured the growing tension. At one point, she zoomed in on a firework exploding just feet away from a police car, its lights flashing as officers tried to maintain order. "Y'all, they're throwing fireworks at the police," Tasha exclaimed, her voice a mix of amusement and concern. The crowd, now numbering between 200 and 300 people, seemed to feed off the chaos, unaware of the danger that was about to unfold. According to Tommy, the breaking point came when nearby residents, fed up with the noise and commotion, decided to take matters into their own hands. It started with shouting, then escalated rapidly. Gunfire erupted, shattering the night. Tasha, who had just stepped outside after using the bathroom at Tommy's parents' house, found herself in the middle of the chaos. In a desperate attempt to escape, she ran, but the bullets came too fast. She was struck multiple times, her body collapsing to the ground as screams filled the air. Her live stream, still recording, captured the raw fear and confusion of the moment before abruptly cutting off. The celebration had turned into a war zone. Neighbors who witnessed the shooting described the scene as pure chaos. "We thought it was just fireworks at first," one witness recalled. "But then we saw people falling to the ground. It was like a nightmare." Another resident, Elizabeth, a 16-year-old who was celebrating with her family, described the terror of hearing gunshots. "I grabbed my little brother and ran inside," she said. "Everyone was screaming, hiding, trying to find cover. It was like something out of a movie." Amid the panic, Tasha lay motionless on the ground, her life slipping away as the crowd scattered in every direction. By the time police arrived, the damage was done. Tasha Hyman, the vibrant makeup artist who had brought so much light to her community, was gone. Another victim, 19-year-old Marcus Martin Jr., was also killed, his life cut short by a single gunshot to the back. 2 others were injured but survived. The streets that had been filled with laughter and celebration were now littered with shell casings, blood, and the remnants of a night that had gone horribly wrong. But who was responsible for this senseless violence? And what led to the shooting that stole Tasha's life? The answers to these questions would soon send shockwaves through Fort Worth and beyond. The morning after the shooting, Fort Worth woke up to a city forever changed. Tasha Hyman's death sent shockwaves through the community, leaving friends, family, and even strangers heartbroken. Vigils sprang up on Castleman Street, where candles, flowers, and handwritten notes formed a makeshift memorial. Social media was flooded with tributes as clients, friends, and loved ones shared memories of Tasha's kindness, talent, and infectious smile. Her fiancé, Tommy Howard, posted a heartfelt message: "Rest in paradise to my baby. You were the sweetest person on this earth." For Tommy, the loss was unimaginable. Just 4 years earlier, he had lost his previous fiancée to cancer. Tasha had been his rock, his savior, and now she was gone too. As the community mourned, the Fort Worth Police Department launched an investigation into the shooting. The scene on Castleman Street was a grim reminder of the violence that had unfolded. Over 100 shell casings from multiple types of guns were recovered, pointing to a chaotic and deadly exchange of gunfire. Police believe multiple shooters were involved, but as of now, only one suspect has been arrested, 21-year-old Todd Eric Rogers, who faces murder charges. Yet, many questions remain unanswered. Who were the other shooters? What sparked the violence? And why did a night of celebration turn into a bloodbath? Authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward, emphasizing that even the smallest detail could be the key to solving this case. For Tasha's family, the pain of her loss is unbearable. Her cousin, Pastor Felton Jenkins, who has spent years fighting against gun violence in the community, described her as his angel. "Every time we saw each other, it was a hug, a kiss, a smile," he said. "She was loved by everybody." Jenkins, who has dedicated his life to preventing tragedies like this, now finds himself personally affected by the very violence he has worked to stop. "This is a different kind of pain," he admitted. "It's personal. It's real."
It hurt.
Her cousin, Pastor Felton Jenkins,
It's a different kind of pain.
spends every day fighting to stop gun violence, but this time,
She is sweet. She's my angel.
the pain is personal.
Every time we see each other, it's a hug, it's a kiss, it's a smile, it's a small dance, you name it. We gonna cheer each other up. She was loved by everybody. She was loved by everybody.
2 more shooting victims survived, and police say another person died after a medical emergency. At this point, there are multiple suspects, but no one is in custody.
They are cowards.
Jenkins and several community leaders want those who know something to come forward.
Come on, Fort Worth.
They want to stop gun violence.
This is real. Stop these block parties.
They want to protect the youth.
Jenkins and other community leaders are calling for an end to block parties like the one on Castleman Street, arguing that they too often lead to violence. "Come on, Fort Worth," he pleaded. "This is real. Stop these block parties. Protect our youth." But for many residents, the shooting was a painful reminder of a deeper issue. Elizabeth, a 16-year-old who witnessed the chaos, admitted that hearing gunshots in her neighborhood wasn't new. "You grow up with it, you kind of get used to it," she said. "But this time it was different. This time it hit closer to home."
Youth.
To the point where you grow up with it, you kind of get used to it.
Hearing gunshots on her street is nothing new for Lisbeth.
I am so sorry. Like, my condolences go out to your family, your friends.
But she is disheartened. Celebration turned to sorrow.
The tragedy has sparked a renewed conversation about gun violence, public safety, and the need for change. As the investigation continues, one thing is clear. Tasha Hyman's death was not just a loss for her family and friends, it was a loss for an entire community. And as the search for justice unfolds, her memory serves as a powerful reminder of the work that still needs to be done. Tasha Hyman's story is a tragic reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating impact of gun violence. A vibrant woman, a loving mother, a talented artist, and a cherished friend, her life was cut short in a moment of senseless violence. As we remember Tasha, let us also reflect on the importance of coming together as a community to prevent such tragedies from happening again. Her death is not just a loss for her family and friends, it's a loss for all of us. It's a call to action, a reminder that we must do more to protect our communities and ensure that no one else has to suffer the way Tasha's loved ones have. If you have any information about the Castleman Street shooting, no matter how small, please contact Tarrant County Crime Stoppers at 817-469-8477. Your tip could be the key to bringing justice for Tasha and the other victims. Together, we can ensure that her legacy lives on, not just as a victim of violence, but as a beacon of love, resilience, and hope. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this tragic story? Do you believe more could have been done to prevent this? Have you or someone you know been affected by gun violence? Share your experiences, your opinions, and your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters, and together we can start a conversation that leads to change. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories that matter. By sharing this video, you're helping to keep Tasha's memory alive and shining a light on the urgent need for justice and reform.
Councilman done did it again. Councilman done did it again. Councilman done did it again. They trying to move closer and closer. Man. The police done pulled up. Tried to shut the spot down, y'all. The police done pulled up on us and riot girl. Trying to shut us down. Trying to shut down the festivities.
It's a fool on the block, cuz.
The SWAT is on deck.
Hey, y'all stop popping them up.
They throwing them at the laws. They throwing
What is going on?
Yeah. Man, y'all leave them folks alone, man. God damn. Coming, bro. Baby, come on this way. Come on. God damn. Shooting bad. Say they fin to. On my mama, they fin to. Look at these hoes, bro. Say, man, they done got too lit on the block for the police, man. I swear to God. Man, I swear to God, they done got too lit for the laws, man. They done came to, and they ride, girl. Oh, man. It's Queenie up there at my mama's house. God damn. Damn, this whole live. Man, this whole live, bro. My bad, y'all. We back to the festivities. Oh, yeah. Say them all come through 100 calls deep. And they started coming, bro. Sonny. Sonny hoes started coming. Damn, look, bro. Damn. Them hoes don't come out and ride, girl. Them hoes done came out and ride girl on the nigga and everything, bro. They can't shut the block down. We too lit. We too lit. They just said fuck it. That's why they said fuck it. We too lit. Say this the funniest shit ever, dude. Eastside Councilman Street shit. No, my nigga. Say. It's about 20 people. They can't do nothing about the. They can't do nothing, bro. The block is lit. No. Say this whole lit. They try to come back through on the nigga, man. Watch all these bitch ass long calls. They trying to shut it down. Councilman too lit, bro.
My Facebook won't even go live.
Councilman too lit, bro.
Hey, yeah, you live. On Councilman, cuz.
On Councilman.
On Councilman, yeah.
I swear it's too lit.
Hooverwood.
Look at these hoes.
Yeah.
Say it's too lit out here, man. They you going
live because you on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I'm on Tashabone. I'm on Tashabone. Trying to shut the block down, man. These hoes is live and direct. Look at them, man. Look, I'm gonna walk and show y'all how many. They gotta go though. They gotta go. They can't make it. Say them hoes gotta go, man. Look. Say, look how they came on Councilman, my nigga. Look at these hoes standing here in the corner, bro. Look how they came on Councilman, my nigga. Oh, man. I'm gonna shoot fireworks at the police. Say, man. We run this fucking block. We do this shit every year. Bigger and better every year.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. I'll kill your ass tonight, bitch. Those were the last words hundreds of Facebook Live viewers heard before a single gunshot shattered the silence. Then came the screaming. 2 women, children crying for their daddy, and a voice panicked and desperate. Oh shit, I don't want to go to jail. On March 25th, 2023, at exactly 7:42 a.m., what started as another heated argument between a Mississippi couple became the most horrifying live-streamed domestic violence incident in recent memory. Hundreds of viewers watched in real time as 28-year-old Jeremy Brown's life ended not in some random act of violence, but at the hands of someone who was supposed to love him most. This is the story of how a Facebook live stream became evidence in a murder case. How a father of 4 trying to walk away from a fight never made it out the door. And how the most intimate moments of a relationship's destruction were broadcast for the world to witness. Hello, and welcome to True Crime Tales HQ. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories. But to understand how we got to that horrifying morning, we need to go back to the beginning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Natural, beautiful, beautiful. Let me tell y'all something that y'all don't know.
Jeremy Brown wasn't supposed to die at 28. Born on October 18, 1994, in the heart of Mississippi, he was the kind of man people described as solid, dependable, the guy you could count on when everything else fell apart. Growing up in a tight-knit Southern family, Jeremy learned early that family came first. He was the second of 4 children, raised by a mother juggling 2 jobs and a father who coached Little League between fixing neighbors' cars. In a house always filled with the sounds of siblings, cousins, and friends, Jeremy stood out not for being the loudest, but for being the steady one. Even as a child, Jeremy had this quiet strength about him. Teachers noticed it. Coaches saw it. His younger siblings felt it when life got overwhelming. He was the kid who'd walk a friend home after dark, give up his seat for someone's grandmother at church, and mow an elderly neighbor's lawn without being asked. Jeremy was wise beyond his years, friends would later say. While other teenagers chased popularity and drama, Jeremy was already thinking about the future. He volunteered at the local food pantry, worked construction gigs to help his mother with bills, and talked about someday starting his own business, maybe carpentry or landscaping. Nothing flashy, just honest work he could be proud of. Then he met Khadijah Michelle Brown. Where Jeremy was calm and steady, she was energetic and outspoken. They were opposites in almost every way, but there was an undeniable chemistry. To friends watching from the outside, it seemed like they balanced each other out. His stability grounding her fire, her energy bringing excitement to his steady world. They moved fast. Within a year, they were living together, and Jeremy was completely committed. Together, they had 4 children, and Jeremy embraced fatherhood with the same quiet dedication that had defined his entire life. His social media painted the picture of a devoted dad. Family dinners, birthday parties, lazy Sunday afternoons, playing video games and grilling in the backyard. He called his children his purpose, and anyone who knew him could see it was true. He gave hugs freely, apologized when he made mistakes, and made sure his kids knew they were loved. But behind those happy family photos, there were warning signs. Both Jeremy and Khadijah had a history of domestic violence, a detail that would become crucial to understanding the tragedy that was coming. Friends close to Jeremy started noticing changes. The arguments at home were becoming more frequent, more intense. Jeremy, ever the peacemaker, was working overtime to keep things stable. He'd spend more time with extended family, seeking clarity and peace, but he never gave up on his home. He believed in second chances, in working through problems, in keeping the family together. Those who knew him will say they could see the weight he was carrying, but Jeremy kept showing up every single day, hoping things would get better, praying for change. But hope wasn't enough to stop what was coming. The couple had been arguing for most of the night before March 25th. By morning, tensions had reached a breaking point. What started as another disagreement was about to spiral into something irreversible. Jeremy was trying to leave the apartment, trying to defuse the situation the way he always did, by walking away, giving everyone space to cool down. It was classic Jeremy. Avoid the confrontation, let emotions settle, try to talk it out later when heads were clearer. But this time, walking away wasn't going to be enough. This time, Khadijah had her phone out, streaming live to Facebook. And this time, instead of letting him leave, she was about to make sure hundreds of strangers witnessed the final moments of Jeremy Brown's life. 7:42 a.m., March 25th, 2023. At the Greentree Apartments in Columbus, Mississippi, what should have been an ordinary Saturday morning was about to become a nightmare that would make national headlines. The Facebook live stream had started innocuously enough. Khadijah was talking to the camera, ranting about Jeremy's behavior, while her mother cooked food for their 4 children in the kitchen. To anyone tuning in, it probably looked like another typical domestic argument being aired on social media, uncomfortable to watch, but nothing that seemed truly dangerous. But everything changed when Jeremy walked into the house. Jeremy and Khadijah were arguing, and you could hear Jeremy trying to leave, trying to get away from the confrontation. Jeremy was allegedly trying to leave the apartment and defuse the situation, just like he always did. Just like friends and family said was typical Jeremy behavior. Walk away, let things cool down, come back when everyone could talk rationally. But Khadijah wasn't going to let him leave. Not this time. The argument escalated quickly. A single gunshot rang out. What followed was at least 2 women screaming for about 1 minute.
He getting his stuff. Look at that. Sad case as a father.
Okay, Jeremy, what is the conversation you want to have?
We good.
Yeah, and your baby in the room.
Conversation you want to have?
We good. Give me my phone, bro. Don't shut
What is the conversation you want to have?
What the conversation?
Get out my
He said,
phone.
what's the
Don't
conversation?
touch me. Don't touch me. I'll call the police over there. Do not touch me.
He said, what's the conversation y'all want to have? Nah, what's the conversation?
Get out my phone, bro.
What's the conversation?
Keep your hands on.
What's the conversation?
Keep your hands on. Don't touch me, bro.
What's the conversation?
Move, bro. I'm trying to get ready for work, man. Go.
How you getting ready for work?
What is going on? That's all I'm here. I'm over here doing. Talking about I don't do nothing for the kids. I don't do nothing. I do what I can when I can.
understand.
But like I said, don't keep putting me in situations that's not my problem. And then, like I said, this is your family. You supposed to be here. Yeah, I've been taking care of
He
these
ain't straight.
kids.
No,
You're not good because you're not here taking care of these kids.
He wanna go cop everybody.
Keep your hands on me, bro. Don't touch me again.
Touch you.
Jason, sit there over here. We'll make it easy. Sit there over here. I'm gonna do it just like that. Sit there over here.
Ain't nobody finna come over here and do nothing.
Get your hands off me, bro. Stop touching me. Move.
Need to stop.
Sit there over here, Jason.
Ain't nobody coming over here.
Oh, me, bro. Sit down. Get your hands on me, bro. Stop touching me, bro.
Stop.
Don't touch me.
I'm gonna get him. Murder scene,
Don't touch me again.
Stop.
Let go. Touch me. Touch me again.
Ain't nobody get somewhere. Sit down. Y'all gonna have to stop all this. Then y'all wonder why the kids.
After the shot, viewers could hear Khadijah and another woman screaming, "Oh shit, I don't want to go to jail." Khadijah's voice could be heard saying. Then came the sound that would haunt everyone who heard it. Children crying in the background. Children crying for their father. The footage suddenly cut. The live stream ended. But for the hundreds of people who had been watching, the horror was just beginning to sink in. Comment sections exploded with panic. Viewers frantically tried to figure out if what they'd just heard was real. Some called 911 immediately. Others shared the stream, not believing what they'd witnessed. Deputies from the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office responded to a domestic violence call at 500 Greentree Drive around 7:42 a.m. By the time officers arrived, it was already too late. Inside the apartment, they found Jeremy Brown dead from a single gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police recovered a 9mm handgun and a shell casing at the scene. Khadijah Michelle Brown was taken into custody without incident and transported to the Lowndes County Adult Detention Center. As investigators pieced together what had happened, the Facebook Live video became crucial evidence. The incident had been captured on audio or video on Facebook Live, giving police an unprecedented real-time record of a domestic violence murder. Lowndes County Sheriff Eddie Hawkins was clear in his assessment. There was a history of domestic violence between Brown and the victim. This was a tragic and senseless murder, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the victim. Khadijah Brown was charged with murder. Her bond was set at $750,000. But for Jeremy's family and friends, no amount of justice could bring back the man they'd lost. The father who would never again help with homework or show up for school events. The son who would never again be there when his family needed him most. And for the hundreds of people who had witnessed his final moments on Facebook Live, the trauma of what they'd seen would be something they'd carry forever. In August 2023, a Mississippi grand jury issued an indictment against Khadijah Brown for the murder of her husband. The case that had shocked the nation was moving through the courts, but the central question remained. How do you prosecute a murder that hundreds of people witnessed in real time? The Facebook Live video was both a blessing and a curse for the prosecution. On one hand, they had unprecedented evidence of exactly what had happened. On the other hand, the intimate nature of the recording, the sounds of children crying, the raw emotion, the immediate aftermath, made it almost too painful to watch. Faced with overwhelming evidence.
For the first time from the mother of a man killed by his wife on Facebook Live.
That crime happened in Columbus, and it is also there where we found out this afternoon the wife's punishment for that crime.
Khadijah Brown ultimately pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. In court, Khadijah Brown told the judge that the shooting was an accident. But the sheriff had made it clear that Jeremy Brown was allegedly trying to leave the apartment the next morning and defuse the situation before being shot. Hardly the actions of someone posing a threat that would justify accidental discharge of a weapon. On Friday, May 24th, 2024, Khadijah Michelle Brown, 29, appeared in front of a judge and was sentenced to 40 years for the murder of her husband Jeremy Brown. Khadijah will serve 34 years behind bars, with the final 6 years being on supervised release. The woman who killed her husband on Facebook Live would spend more than 3 decades in prison. For Jeremy's family, the sentence brought some closure, but it could never bring back the man they'd lost. Jeremy's mother, speaking after the sentencing, simply said she felt justice had been served and was glad it was all over.
I feel justice has been served. I'm very happy and just glad it's all over.
This case raised uncomfortable questions about social media, domestic violence, and the responsibility of platforms when intimate violence is broadcast live. The shooting happened on a Facebook livestream and made national headlines precisely because of how unprecedented it was. The idea that domestic violence could be streamed live, that children could be present during such trauma, and that hundreds of strangers could become unwitting witnesses to murder, represented a new and disturbing intersection of technology and violence. Jeremy's funeral was held at a local church in Columbus, Mississippi, not far from where he was born and raised. The sanctuary was packed with people whose lives he had touched, family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, people who knew him as the kind of man who would help anyone who needed it. His casket was closed. The trauma had been too much for his family to bear. What made Jeremy's death particularly heartbreaking was how preventable it seemed. Jeremy hadn't been aggressive. He hadn't fought back. He had done exactly what domestic violence experts tell people to do in dangerous situations. He tried to leave. But walking away wasn't enough. Not when someone else had already decided that if they couldn't control the situation, they would end it. Jeremy Brown leaves behind 4 children who will grow up without their father. Children who were present during his final moments. Children who heard their daddy die and couldn't understand why. He leaves behind a family that will forever be changed by the knowledge that their loved one's final moments were witnessed by strangers on the internet. That his death became a viral video. That his most private pain became public entertainment. But Jeremy also leaves behind the memory of who he was, the good kid, the devoted father, the man who tried to be a peacemaker even when peace was impossible. In a world that often seems full of violence and anger, Jeremy Brown was the kind of person who made things better just by being there. He was the guy who showed up, who kept his word, who put his family first, who believed in second chances and working through problems. That he died trying to walk away from a fight tells us everything we need to know about who Jeremy Brown was, and everything we need to know about the tragedy of domestic violence. Sheriff Eddie Hawkins called it a tragic and senseless murder, and he was right. But it was more than that. It was a reminder that domestic violence doesn't always happen behind closed doors anymore. Sometimes it happens live, in real time, for the world to see. It was a reminder that walking away, the advice we give to anyone in a dangerous relationship, sometimes isn't enough when the other person refuses to let you go. And it was a reminder that social media has fundamentally changed how we experience trauma, both as victims and as witnesses. Jeremy Brown should still be alive. He should be helping his children with homework, showing up for school events, and making sure his family knows they're loved. Instead, his final moments became content for strangers to consume. His death became a headline, and his children became orphans. If there's any lesson to take from this tragedy, it's that domestic violence is everyone's responsibility to address. That the warning signs matter. That history of violence shouldn't be ignored. And that sometimes the person trying to walk away needs our help to stay alive long enough to actually get away. Jeremy Brown was 28 years old when he died. He was a father, a son, a friend, and a man who spent his life trying to keep the peace. He deserved better than to become a viral video. He deserved to live. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out for help. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is available 24/7. Check the description of this video. Remember, it's not your fault, and help is available. What do you think about this case? How do you think social media has changed the way we experience and respond to domestic violence? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth true crime analysis.
The fact that I was just in a relationship for almost a year and now I'm single, look at my face, it's crazy to me. When a motherfucker say a couple seconds can change your life, like, I swear to God, and this is me almost 8 days of me being healed. Ladies, pay attention to them red flags, okay? Like, and it's crazy because the nigga that did this to me, I would have never thought. Like, that was not Big Baby. That was not, I used to tell people, oh, he's so sweet. He's so sweet. He's so sweet. He'll never do that to me. Niggas be never evering. I swear to God. It ain't even been a full week yet. It's in 4 days. I can't talk like that. I gotta drink everything out of the straw. I have random times that need just drooling on myself. I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm taking it very well. Self-esteem is very fucking low. The mental health is not good.
What started as a simple weekend getaway turned into one of the most terrifying experiences of this young woman's life. She thought she was going on a peaceful trip to meet her boyfriend's family and childhood friends, a chance to build memories and strengthen their bond. But almost from the moment they arrived, small warning signs began to pile up. She had paid for everything, the hotel, the rental car, the entire trip, while her boyfriend lived in her home without contributing a dime. What unfolded next was far worse than she could have imagined. Surrounded by people who seemed to ignore the growing tension, and trapped in a town far from home, the relationship took a dark and violent turn. In the middle of the night, during an argument fueled by alcohol, her boyfriend brutally attacked her, biting off a part of her face. She barely escaped, wounded, bleeding, and alone in an unfamiliar place. What followed was a painful journey through surgery, trauma, and the long road to healing. Welcome to True Crime Tales HQ. Like, share, subscribe, and drop your opinion in the comment section.
This isn't just a story about violence. It's a warning about the dangers of ignoring red flags and giving your trust to someone who doesn't deserve it. Now, in her own words, she bravely shares the full story of what happened that night and what it took to survive.
Me and my ex, we had been together for about 10 months. This isn't a stranger. I've been knowing him since high school, and I graduated in 2014, so we've been knowing each other for a good chunk of time. For the people that was asking me and want to know if there was like past abuse or if this is something that I have been going through with him, no. This is not anything that I have been going through with him. However, there were red flags, and I will discuss that during this story time. Okay, so it all took place back in March on the 17th. We had decided that we were going to go to his hometown. His family was having like a get together, and he wanted me to go down there and meet his side of the family and meet all of the friends that he grew up with. So we were going to stay down there 2 days. I had ended up getting a rental and a hotel room, and we drove down there, and we were going to stay down there for 2 days and come back. So I packed up me and my 2 dogs and him, and we headed down there. It's about 2 hours away from where I currently stay at now. And just to give you some context, yeah, we had been together for 10 months. He was living with me at the time, and he had been living with me for a while. He actually, ironically, became homeless a few months into us starting to mess with each other. The only reason why I'm giving y'all these little details is because it's all going to tie into the story. So we go down there. The first day, it was good vibes. Like, I met his family that I had never seen in person. I met some of his friends that I had never met. We chilled with some of the friends that I have met, and everything was copacetic. So we stayed down there the first day, and everything took place on the second day. And I feel like it was like little signs and stuff telling me not to go down here, but I still went anyways. Not anything that he did, but for instance, they were supposed to be having like a little family get together. They decided the day of us coming down there that they weren't going to have it on that particular day. However, the rental was already paid for. The hotel room was already booked. So we just decided, hell, it's only 2 hours away. Might as well go down there and see your family. So we went. So again, on the second day, we wake up. I go meet his best friend. His best friend that he's been friends with since he was 8 years old. We go out to eat. We have a good time. We decided that because we had drove down there straight after work and we hadn't really gotten a lot of sleep, that after we had went to eat, we were going to go back to the crib, take a nap, and then we were going to get up and we were going to chill with everybody because it was going to be our last night down there. And we were kind of rushing for time because both of us had to be to work the next day. Like the day that we were coming back, we had to be to work. So boom, we go out to eat. We have a good, dinner. And then we go back to the room and we lay down. When we wake up, we decided that we were going to go drink with his aunt. And then we were going to go chill with his other homeboy. We're going to call this homeboy B. So we end up waking up. We go chill with his aunt. Now, I do want to give y'all a couple little, tips. First of all, when we came down there, we were only down there for 2 days. We had 2 bottles. The first bottle got gone the first day. We had shared that bottle with maybe 5 other people. So that bottle was gone. We had the second bottle. So when we got to his aunt crib, I told him like, hey, being that we have multiple places that we're going, it's probably not the best idea to drink this whole bottle at your aunt's house. But of course, that shit went in one ear and out the other. The whole bottle got drunk at his aunt crib. It was good vibes. We was all laughing, playing games, doing what we do. So his aunt is like, oh, I got this other bottle that I forgot about. Let's open that up. And I told him, I'm like, hey, I don't want us to get too drunk. Like, let's pace ourselves because we still have another place we have to go. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't care at all. He got fucked up. He was drunk as hell. Mind you, I am the only licensed driver. The rental is in my name. So he decided that he did not want to go chill with homeboy B he wanted to go chill with homeboy A. I have to give y'all a little backstory on homeboy A. Homeboy A got a baby mama. I had met the baby mama before. We had like FaceTime with each other. We done talked to each other on the phone prior to me meeting her in person. When I met her in person on day one, she was cool. Everything was fine. She was kind of standoffish for real, because she was in her room. But from what I seen, she was cool. Now the second day, the first thing we did is went over to homeboy's A house. Okay? I know homeboy A. Homeboy A had spent the night at my house before. He's came to our hometown. So I've had a history with homeboy A. He's cool. However, the second day I came there, the baby mama was a little off. And the reason why I say this is because the way that she was acting was off. How she was dressed was off. And I just kind of got weird vibes from her. And when we left homeboy's A house that morning of the second day, I told my boyfriend at the time, I said, hey, I don't think that we should go back over here. The reason why I say that we shouldn't have gone back over there is because homeboy A, baby mama, and my boyfriend at the time had a history with each other prior to us being in a relationship. And my boyfriend told me that him and homeboy A fell out a few years ago because homeboy A, baby mama, and my boyfriend at the time was fucking on the low. Yeah. So I already was side-eyeing her, anyways, because you haven't passed with my ex on some shady shit. You cheated on your boyfriend with his best friend, So I'm already looking at you sideways. And on top of that, he's not the only homeboy that she's had sex with. Keep it a buck. And I don't care if anybody from my hometown see my story time and they get mad at what I'm about to say. But she confessed to my ex-boyfriend that she slept with homeboy A biological brother. So that's the context that I want to give you. She was a hoe. But somehow we ended up at homeboy A's house. We were supposed to go to homeboy B house, but somehow we ended up at homeboy's A house after we left the aunt crib. I was upset about it because I feel like as a woman, I've already expressed to you that I'm not comfortable, and you're putting me in a fucking uncomfortable situation while both of us is under the influence. Now, I wasn't drinking as much as him, but I still had some alcohol in my system, so it's like you're putting me in a weird spot. So we pull up to the crib. I tell him how I feel. He's not really like giving a fuck about what I'm saying. So I'm starting to get a little irritated, and of course we start arguing. So we were at the part of us pulling up to homeboy A's house. Now I do see a lot of comments, so I do want to clear some things up. So I did mention that I was the only licensed driver between me and him. However, I live in North Carolina. So 90% of the people I know drives and they don't have license. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. So yes, he was driving only because I have bad eyes. If you scroll down my TikTok, you'll see I wear glasses in a lot of my videos. And we were in a very rural part of the state that I live in. It was barely any street lights, and we got deers. So he was the one that was driving when we were in his hometown. So when we were going to homeboy A's house, I did not know where we were going. I was assuming that we were going to homeboy B's house until we turned on their little street because they live in a weird area. I knew that we were going to homeboy A's house. So another thing that I want to clear up before I get into this, I know that you guys are on my neck in the comments about me calling that girl a hoe. And she is a hoe, and I'm going to tell you guys why I think she's a hoe. So, mind you, homeboy A, baby mama, slept with my ex-boyfriend, but that is not the only homeboy she slept with. She slept with my ex-boyfriend 2 years prior to me and him getting into a relationship. Less than a year ago, she confessed to my ex-boyfriend that she had sex with homeboy B. Now, I'm about to gag y'all. Homeboy A and homeboy B are biological brothers with the same mother and father. So if this girl can have
relations with my ex and the brother, you got to be a hoe. What else qualifies you? So when we pull up to the house, I immediately let him know that, you know, why are we here? I don't want to be here. However, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't like to get into it. So instead of me just like saying, hey, let's go, I said, hey, I understand that you don't get the opportunity to see your homeboys a lot because y'all stay so far away from each other. So what I'll do is I'll stay in the car and you can go in there and, you know, chill. I'll take me a nap. He did not like that. He wanted me to go in the house. He wanted me to be in the mix. And I just didn't feel like that was fair to me. I felt like he was being very inconsiderate. So it definitely did start an argument. We were arguing for maybe about 10 minutes. Mind you, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We in a little country-ass town. It's not a lot of people that live in that area. So apparently, when we got out the car, because I finally just said, you know what? I'll be the bigger person. And I'll go in here and, you know, I'll do whatever. I'll play that role. Apparently, we were so loud in the car that they heard us in their house because we was parked on the side. So when we got out to knock on the door, he was already like opening the door and greeting us. And when he opened the door, he was like, nah, you know, pretty much y'all can go back home. Which I thought that was kind of fucked up. I thought it was fucked up because homeboy A, as I stated in my first part, I know him. He's slept at my house before. He's actually slept at my house several times before because he was too intoxicated. He couldn't drive back to his house. So I let him spend the night. So I thought that was kind of weird, you know, that he was just shooing us away. But nevertheless, I digress. I understand they got kids. So I didn't argue. I didn't fight it. I turned around and I looked at my ex and I said, hey, let me get the keys. This is where shit started to get weird. So I tell him, let me get the keys. He doesn't want me to drive for some odd reason. For the people asking in the comments, yes, I paid for the hotel room and I paid for the rental. Yes, I'm a dumb bitch. I get it. Okay? I was stupid. So me and him is arguing about who's going to drive back. At this point, we're probably about maybe 8 feet apart from each other. He's standing on one side of the car. I'm standing on the other. And as we're arguing, he's making his way around the car to the passenger door. And I'm still probably about like 3 feet back from the passenger door. So I'm not right up on the car. So it gets to a point where we kind of like standing face to face. Now, at this point, the argument has gotten past who's driving home. Now we're saying things to hurt each other. I know I probably said some things to hurt him. Not anything personal, but probably things that I was feeling because, yes, as I stated, I paid for the rental. I paid for the room. When we had first agreed to go down there, I was under the impression that I was going to be getting reimbursed back for half of my money, and I didn't get anything. So, yes, I probably was harboring feelings as we were going through the weekend because I'm kicking out money for food, gas, and at this point, I'm feeling like I'm being used, and I don't like that. So it gets to a point where, like I said, we standing face to face, and he runs and he charges and he throws me on the ground and he bites me in my face. Now, before he bites me in my face, we were kind of like wrestling a little bit because he got my arms pinned back, and then he bit me in my face. I'm screaming. Of course, naturally, I am trying to get him up off of me. But at the end of the day, he is a man. And I'm not a huge woman. Like, I probably got weight on him. But height-wise, he is taller than me. So he is kind of overpowering me. So as he's biting me, I'm confused because I don't know what's going on. I finally get to the point where I push him off. And when I push him off, I tell him, I'm about to you. And I meant it. Fun fact, again, I stay in North Carolina. I'm licensed to carry. I feel like my life is in danger. So now's the perfect time for me to use my protection. At this point, like I said, I'm feeling like my life is in danger. He just finished biting me. I was able to push him off of me, so he's kind of like on the side of me. And I just let him know, hey, I'm about to you. Like, so at this point, he's trying to get up off the ground, and I had my purse strapped around the side of me. So I end up reaching on the side to retrieve what I'm about to retrieve. So I retrieve it. As I'm retrieving it, because you got to understand everything is moving really fast. As I retrieve it, he's getting up and I fire. Mind you, it's pitch black dark. So as he's getting up to run into the direction of the house, I fire again, but it jams. So I'm not in my right mind. As I said, everything is running pretty fast. So I'm just trying to just click, 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 click. Ain't nothing working. So I'm getting upset. As I'm doing that, I'm also walking up to where, you know, the house is at. I jiggle the doorknob, it's locked. I try to kick it down, it's locked. At this point, the baby mama and homeboy A is looking at me and they like, oh my God, your face. I feel my face throbbing, but I'm not realizing that I got blood gushing and running down my face. I feel defeated. Ain't nobody try to help me. Ain't nobody try to break anything up. Again, I am in an area where I don't know anybody at. And my ex had went to prison for poking up his own brother. And I know that it's a lot of red flags, y'all. And with me even just saying that out loud, it sounds crazy. But I did not feel like I was in a safe spot. And my protection is now not working. It's jammed. So I end up finding the keys on the ground and I end up leaving from that area. Now, a lot of y'all are going to ask me, Keisha, why didn't you call the law? Why didn't you call 12? As a black woman living in North Carolina that has dealt with DV before in the past, not in this relationship, but in the past, I don't feel safe calling them. At this point, in an area where I don't know where I'm at, my dogs is in a hotel. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm okay. So I'm speeding back to the hotel. I pack up my dogs. As I'm packing up my dogs, I'm going back and forth in and out of the hotel. I see his friend A car like coming in and looking like they about to try to pull behind my car. So I hurry up. I kick it in second gear and I get everything in the car. They tried to pull up beside me and say something, but at this point, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you have. I don't feel safe. Now, I did let the front desk lady know what happened, so that they can be able to call the law, because at this point, I'm losing a lot of blood, y'all. Like, I'm losing a lot of blood. At this point, I'm now sitting down in a point, I'm sitting in my car, I'm able to like pull the mirror down and really assess my face. My whole lip right here was hanging off. This whole piece right here was missing. He bit 3 centimeters of my lip off. Like he took a chunk of my lip off and this whole piece right here was hanging down. So I'm just so devastated at this point. I did call my mother. I was actually on the phone with my mother as I was, finished packing up. She immediately told me to come back home. She like, hey, come back home ASAP so we can go to the hospital and report him. So I go to the hospital. Of course, in the state of North Carolina and probably a lot of states, anytime you come into the hospital with a severe injury, they're going to get the police involved. So I was able to, do a report there at the hospital. And the hotel lady did have a detective from the area where he's at to call me. Now, I do want to let y'all know something. He's not in jail. Sorry to ruin y'all. He's not in jail. As bad as he should be in jail, he's not. And I'm going to tell you why. As I stated in part 1, he had been living with me for 10 months. Prior to him living with me, he was living with somebody else. Prior to that, he was living, like, this man was a homosexual, y'all, and I did not know. The reason that he's not in jail is because can't nobody find him. As I said in part 1, he had been living with me for 10 months. Prior to that, he was living with somebody else. So the address that he had on his license was not a valid address. They are still pursuing charges for him, but they can't find him. However, there is an order set in place to where he cannot contact me. We cannot be in the same area. He's blocked on all social medias, all platforms, but nobody can find him. But I do know going forward, you know, that is a situation that I would never ever turn around and deal with again. And I wanted to put my story out here for the young ladies. You know, when you see those red flags, please be better than me and leave at the first instant. At the first red flag, leave. And I did also make a comment about him going to prison, about another situation with his brother. He had made it seem like to me that he was protecting his mother. Like his brother was trying to attack his mother, and that's why he poked up his brother. So that's the reason why I didn't look at him crazy when he told me that. But this is my story time. Y'all been on my neck for it, so here it go. It did displace me out of work for a while, but I am back in my job. As y'all can see, I'm healing pretty good. I still go through pain. This whole part of my lip is, you know, a replacement. They had to take this skin from somewhere else, so this is still healing. There are still days where I am still in a lot of pain, and they told me that it's probably going to take a full year before I'm able to, you know, fully get back to myself.